tutorial, we will be creating a QR code in CorelDRAW and embedding a logo into it. QR codes contain information that can be read by QR code readers on smartphones and other mobile devices. Popular in consumer advertising and packaging, it can give smartphone users quick access to a brand's website, which can offer additional product information. A CorelDRAW membership account is needed to create and edit QR codes. And to access the QR code features, you will need to be signed in to your Corel.com account. Let's begin by inserting a QR code into the document. To insert a QR code, click on Object, Insert QR Code. You'll notice that the Object Properties Docker and the Property bar get populated with the controls available for the QR code. In the Object Properties Docker, you can choose from a list of options from the QR code type list box. For the purpose of this QR code, we'll go with URL. You'll notice that the URL box is highlighted in orange. This means that the input URL may not be valid. Let's type in www.coreldraw.com. When you press enter, the highlight goes away, indicating that it is a valid URL. Once you've put the information in for the QR code, you can use the controls below to customize the code. As a note, the smaller squares populating the QR code are called pixels, and the larger squares in the corners, as well as the one or more smaller squares with a border inside, are called markers. Let's begin by applying a fill to the QR code pixels. For the pixel fill type, you can choose from all the fill types that are available in CorelDRAW. Let's start with a uniform fill. For the pixel fill colour, it's generally better to use a colour that contrasts well with the background to ensure that the QR code can be read properly. If you want to customize the fill, click on the Fill Settings button. Next, we'll apply a fill to the background. The background fill type also offers all of the fill types available in CorelDRAW. Let's use a uniform fill again. Again, for the background fill colour, it's better to use a colour that contrasts well with the pixels in the foreground. To specify a pixel outline width, simply select a width from the width box, or type in a value. You can choose a colour from the pixel outline picker. Let's increase the margins of the QR code. To do so, simply type a value in the margin box. Or click and drag the spin handle to change the value. As we choose a different shape, you'll notice that the markers remain unchanged. This is to maintain the readability of the QR code. Once you've chosen a shape, you can change the pixel fill factor. Let's lower the percentage of fill. You'll notice that the pixels have become smaller in the QR code. In the advanced accordion, there's an option to weld the pixels. This merges the pixels into a single body. Note that when you weld the pixels, you can no longer change the shape or the fill factor of the pixels. You won't notice that the pixels have been welded straight away, but once you change the pixel corner roundness, you will see the difference. You'll notice that the pixels have become more round and organic looking. Let's compare this with when the pixels are not welded. Notice the difference it makes to the appearance. Once you have changed all the settings, you can create an object star from the QR code which lets you save the appearance for quick and easy reuse. Simply click on the style indicator beside the QR code header and click on New Style From. Adding visual effects to a QR code can give it an artistic look, but may be considered errors by QR code readers. You can use the error correction settings to minimize the possibility of errors when scanning the QR code. Higher correction levels duplicate a higher percentage of the information, increasing the chance that it will be read. After inserting and formatting the QR code, you can validate it to make sure that it can be read by QR code readers. To do so, simply click on the Validate button in the Object Properties docker. Once it has been validated, you'll see a pop-up message containing the QR code information. Here we have customized the appearance of the QR code to match the CorelDRAW branding, and now we will add a logo to the QR code. Click File, Import, and choose the file that you want to insert, in this case the CorelDRAW balloon logo. We'll place the logo right in the centre of the QR code. Now we need to validate the QR code to make sure that it can be read. Select the QR code and click on Validate in the Object Properties docker. You see that the pop-up says that the validation has failed and the QR code could not be recognised. This is most likely because the logo is covering too many of the pixels in the QR code, and which prevents the data from being read. Let's reduce the size of the logo so that it's not covering as many of the pixels. Now let's click on Validate again. This time, the pop-up shows that the QR code has been validated with the QR code information. There is another method for validating QR codes, which can be used to validate non-QR code objects or QR codes that were not created in CorelDRAW. Here is a QR code that's been converted to a bitmap, which means that it cannot be validated from the Object Properties docker. Now let's go to Object, Validate Barcode. Drag the marquee around the bitmap to validate. The QR code has been validated. If you click on View Details, you'll be able to copy the content to your clipboard. We hope that this tutorial gave good insight into creating unique, artistic and scalable QR codes in CorelDRAW X7. Be sure to watch the other training videos to explore the creative options that can help you design with creativity and confidence.